Welcome to Movement Mondays, where we release a new video every Monday to show you how to prevent and correct injuries so that you can move like you mean it. Hey, what's up guys? This is Mitch back from the Movement Center with another episode of Movement Mondays, and I'm joined today by the wonderful and super tall Josh, and he is the next basketball all-star. He's taking on Biombo. Go Raptors go. Unfortunately, we didn't win last week, but that's okay, right? Yeah. We're the North. We still the North. That's right. Putting Canada on the map. So what we're talking about today, guys, is shin splints, and it's a pretty common thing. We get pain kind of in the back, front of the shin, back of the shin, in this sort of area. And in sports, it involves a lot of jumping or running, aka basketball. So Josh's a pretty big basketball player. He's getting some issues, and if we just sneak in here and take a look here, I want you guys to take a look at Josh's foot. So he's been working on rehab for a couple weeks now. He's actually doing really well. So we're not as concerned with him anymore, but his arch is something we want to talk about, and this is something you guys can assess out there on yourselves, is your arch and foot position. So if you relax your foot back down to where it was. So Josh came into us the first day with this kind of whole flattened in arch position. His foot collapsed, and you can see a pretty significant difference side to side. So here I can get probably 2 fingers under. On this side I can get maybe one if I really want to sneak in there. So his arch is completely kind of come back in. And what happens with that is when he goes to run or jump, all these muscles down here get bang, bang, bang. Every time get overcompressed, and then we end up with pain. Yeah, pain. He can't make his shots. And he comes in and he goes, Mitch, what the heck? I can't make my shots. So what we want to do is figure out how to open this up. And the most important thing about this is trying to correct that foot position and get that arch into a solid position, strengthening that foot. And some people, you might even need an orthotic or something like that. But in most of us, we can get some good strength in there and stabilize that foot position in terms of getting that arch strong. So how do we do that is the question. So to start with, it comes from a little bit of, if you are someone, if we can sneak down, just take a look at me here, who is limited in their range, so they can't quite come forward, what will happen is we'll sneak our foot out and we'll blow off torque. So we'll blow and flatten through our arch and flatten down to the ground to get that knee cleared or get that range of motion. So first thing we want to do is open up the back of the ankle. So if we get Josh here on his back, we're going to do a self-release to open up that calf a little bit. So we're going to use your torture device of choice, right? And Josh is doing really good with this one. Is you can take that ball and place it underneath the calf. We've done this one before, and we call this the calf grinder, or whatever you want to call it. And he's going to take that other leg and put it over top, get some pressure on it, and work back and forth. He's going to kind of work back and forth and just warm that up. And then what's most important with this is taking that flipper of his, and I say flipper because he's 6'5", is pump that foot back and forth, up and down. So he's taking calf muscle and moving it back and forth over top of that pressure. Works the spot for a little bit. He's going to move to the next spot and do the same thing. He can work this more on the inside of his calf, so where that muscle that comes down supports the arch is our tibialis posterior. He can work that a little bit by kind of sneaking on the inside and then working up and down. That one sucks a little bit more probably. He's trying to be tough for you guys, but that one tends to be pretty gnarly. So he's going to work through that. So first thing you want to do is open up the calf and get that movement. Then Josh, if you come up and sitting for me, we're going to sit side by side. Now, my feet are hanging here, but Josh, because he's tall, his are on the ground. That makes me feel incompetent, or inferior, I should say. But what we want to try to teach you guys to do now is grip the ground and activate that foot. So with that foot flat on the ground, if we're just looking at Josh here, he's already doing this actually, is we're thinking about pulling up, pushing down through the base of, not the toe, but the base of the first toe on here, and pulling that arch up. So he's pushing down, pulling up to hold that position and activate that arch. So again, relax that, Josh. So he's here, he's pushing down through there. You almost want to pick that toe up, then relax that toe down, and you can see his whole arch pick up there, and now he's got a solid base to take off of, right? And that feels good? Yeah. And so that's going to straighten all those muscles that support your arch and come up and give you something more stable to move on. Now this, actually looks good, Josh. Yeah. And then you relax that toe down, and you hold.
So just like flex.
Basically
flex on the ground.
Exactly. Flexing into the ground and holding that, and you'll feel that arch peel up off the ground. Now, with this type of exercise, and ways we do this is the starting position. Then you guys got to move into weight bearing, dynamic stuff. We can have them shooting basketballs eventually, but you got to be able to hold that stable foot before you go on and run the marathon and that sort of thing, or else it catches up with you. Oftentimes, shin splints too. Maybe we'll do a video on this later. We have issues up at the hips, weakness, knees falling in, things like that. But for today, get your ball, grab out the back, bang out the back of your calf and grind that thing out. And then number 2 is get that arch active so you can hold that stable position when you're up and doing your thing, right?
Yeah.
And then go out.
Am I doing it on this foot too?
You are, yeah. I did this hard. It's pretty good. Yeah. And that's it for today, guys. Have a good Monday. Make sure you move like you mean it out there. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Go down and like this. If you have comments, let us know. And Josh, what do you want to say to the people?
Go Raptors, go.
Go Raps, go! Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great Monday.